Good day, everyone. I'm Orlando Roberts. Today, we're diving into the world of universal design for learning and exploring how it can be used to enhance your classroom experience. At the end of this video, you will know what is UDL, explaining the principles of UDL, application of the UDL principles in STEM classroom, and the benefits of UDL. Universal design for learning is an approach to teaching and learning that gives all students an equal opportunity to succeed by reducing the barriers to learning. The images in the picture below shows you where students are given different amounts of resources. In the image on the left, each person is given the same amount of resources. However, this does not allow for equal access to the opportunity of seeing the game. UDL ensures that students are given the resources that they need to succeed. So the image on the right shows you a situation where not everyone is given the same amount of resources, but they're given resources on a needs basis. So the persons in purple and red are given boxes, however, the person in the blue are not given any box. So this allows for everyone to see the game. So UDL ensures that there's a situation of equity and not equality. So everyone can succeed in the learning experience. Let us talk about the principles of UDL. There are three main principles of universal design for learning. Multiple means of representation, by presenting information in different ways to support access and for understanding. Multiple means of action and expression, where we offer options and support to all so everyone can create, learn, and share. Multiple means of engagement, where we offer opportunity and support to stimulate, motivate, and sustain enthusiasm for learning. Let us look on multiple means of representation. Multiple means of representation focuses on offering information in more than one format. So students will be given the information in different formats such as sound, music, audio, video, book and literature, presentation, magazine, lectures, graph, or charts. So information is provided based on students' differences in learning style, their needs, and their interests. Multiple means of action and expression gives learners more than one way to interact with the material and show what they know. For example, students may interact with interactive writing, ebook, podcast, 5-photo story, visual note-taking, narrative art, narrative slideshow or screencast, puppet video, quick edit video, geomap, simulation or games, or digital story. So students are given the opportunity to demonstrate what they know through these different media. Let us talk about multiple means of engagement in learning. This looks at ways to motivate learners and sustain their interests. So students are provided with interactive games, providing choices, collaborative teamwork, self-reflection on choices, real-life application, or music. These different options allow for students to be engaged in the learning experience, especially based on their interests and if there's a real-life application to the concepts that they're learning. Let us look at how UDL may be applied in a STEM classroom. For multiple means of representation, we may have varied format of information, background knowledge, vocabulary and symbol clarification. As it relates to varied format, the information may be provided in multimedia resources such as videos, simulations like PhET or Gizmo, interactive diagram, or infographics. Example, if in a science classroom where we're teaching a concept of germination, students may be exposed to a simulation. They may be also exposed to a infograph, or they may watch a video on how seeds germinate. They may also use the simulation to see the effect of different factors on the germination rate. So students are presented with different format of the information. For background knowledge, it is important as educators that we introduce essential concept and knowledge before diving into complex topics. Example, if we're teaching a concept in biology, it would be important to expose the students to information that they may need to know. So like germination, it would be important for us to expose the students to like the parts of the seed, how the seed is formed, or just information which would be essential for them to understand the concept before they actually delve into the complex concepts. So we could even introduce students to the concept of variables before they dive into how different factors affect the germination rate. To do so, we could also help students to create a concept map to visualize the relationship between new and existing knowledge, so students are better able to grasp the concept. We also may need to clarify vocabulary and symbols in a STEM classroom, since the jargon used in sciences and mathematics may be complex. So students may be given the opportunity to have a visual glossary, or they could have anchor charts to display the different formulas breakdown, and we could even have a chart to have critical concepts being explained, so students have a better understanding. So within the classroom, students with different learning styles are given different expression of the certain vocabulary or symbols. So for the persons who are visual, they could have a visual glossary. For those persons who are auditory learners, they could have recordings of particular concepts or how particular formulas are used, so to better understand the concepts being taught. In applying multiple means of action and expression in a STEM classroom, we could ensure that there is a variety of assessment. We could use assistive technology when needed, using virtual and physical manipulative for students to express their understanding of the concept. So as it relates to variety in assessment, students could use choice boards, which would allow students to show how they demonstrate their understanding. So they could use different formats, like they could choose between reports, presentation, video, or model to explain particular concepts. We could also employ integrated tools such as speech-to-text software, graphic organizers, and interactive whiteboard to support diverse learners. We could also utilize virtual manipulatives or physical manipulative, especially for students who are kinesthetic learners. We could provide manipulatives such as models, molecular models, building kits, or geometric shapes. so students will be able to demonstrate their understanding in different ways. Utilizing virtual lab will ensure that students are given a safe space to perform laboratory experiment, and they can actually they can also demonstrate their understanding when in a self-paced environment. Multiple means of engagement can be applied by having choice and autonomy, relevance and values, or we can also have self-regulation. So students could be provided with the opportunity to have project-based learning, so where students will be allowed to choose STEM topics or projects of their interests. Students can have flexible grouping, so they can choose their roles in particular groups to exhibit their strengths and interests. As it relates to relevance and value, students could be given the opportunity to have local environmental data being studied or analyzed. They could look at case studies in their particular scene. They could also be exposed to STEM professionals coming to speak to them, or they could visit museums, labs, or engineering firms. Students are also well engaged if they are involved in personal learning goal setting, or they're able to track their progress through journals or digital tools. They're also better engaged if educators incorporate mindfulness and reflection sessions to aid in stress management and keeping focus. Let us look at the benefits of UDL. UDL supports diversity by having differentiated instructions, where UDL will cater to students of different learning style needs and ensuring that students can access and engage with the curriculum in different forms. UDL also removes barriers by offering multiple ways for students to learn and demonstrate their understanding. And it also helps remove obstacles that might hinder students with disabilities or students who struggle with traditional teaching methods. It allows for an equitable learning opportunities where, because there is a personalization in the learning experience, students can choose their learning path and assessment method that best suit them based on their strengths and their interests. And this will ensure that the learning experience is more meaningful. UDL also encourages the incorporation of structurally diverse materials and perspective, making the learning experience more relevant and inclusive for students from different backgrounds. UDL also enhances engagement and motivation in the learning experience. So it increases students' engagement by active learning, where students will be provided with choices. Students will be engaged in hands-on or real-life activities, and this will make the UDL on the learning experience more engaging and interactive. Autonomy and agency, giving students the control over their learning experience, fosters a sense of ownership and responsibility, which can boost motivation and enthusiasm. Students will also have a greater retention of the content, so students will also have a positive learning experience. By making the content relevant to the students, relating to the material of real life scenarios and students' interests, helps keep them invested in the subject material. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you.